great. But that I look up or whatever, somebody like, hey Tim, you that fake trade. I'm like, hey, so you know,
You're like, you just braided me. Thanks. Like,
I'll take it.
Troy, I feel like you have a lot of opinions about fake trade.
Why me? Trash can, yeah.
Welcome back to yet another episode of Key and Carry, where we key
and we carry.
This is so good. Oh my God.
I'm Damon.
I'm Troy.
And we've been gone for a week, but we back with the jump off. We got another back to review the episodes that we forgot.
Come on, 2003 Lil' Kim.
Yes. I stand. This episode is episode 4 of season 2, called what is it called? I always
Confronting
forget.
Your Truth.
Confronting your truths. A lot of truths that need to be confronted.
Very true.
A lot of truths that we are dwelling on, and I kind of want to move on from, but we'll get to it.
There you go. I thought it was kind of bland. We got one date, but the majority of the episode was just basically sit downs to talk about the party, which we already know what happened. Well, as the viewer, we already know what happened, so it's kind of like, Can you move it along? But
I don't know. I just feel like the party thing, like, obviously it was Travis's fault. So like, can we just move on from it? But it's like, just keep, But aside from that, I mean, I did like how they kind of touched on like D and Antonio's, relationship, and I guess like some of the issues that they're facing. So I like that. I really like their storyline.
I do too. I do too.
It's like a positive aspect of the show as a whole, I guess. But yeah, it was a chill episode, but we're gonna get into it. Speaking of getting into it, we have a special guest. And we'll reveal them after these messages. And we're back with our special guest, Timi Lashun, from the Shit We Do for Love season 2. What's good?
What's up? How y'all doing?
We're doing good. How are you?
Great.
I'm great. I'm really great. Everything is good.
Before we get into like the episode, we kind of want to know just like a little bit more about you. How did you end up being on the show? Okay,
so it's really, really crazy. My best friend Tim, who's friend of mine on the show, he told me that he want me to audition for the show. Mind you, I was like, nah, I'm okay. Like, I really don't want to do it at all. And last day of the audition, I actually had, sent Kevon email, telling him about myself and, the whole 9 yards. Long story short, I got an email back saying that, I was able to come in for a face-to-face audition. And so I did that. Mind you, the same day of the audition was the same day of Travis' party. So honestly, like going into the audition or whatever, like you never know what to expect. But prior to that, Travis already had invited me to the party. So he told me to hit up production and ask production what's the location, because it was like a secret location for the party. Yeah.
Secret location. Okay. I'm like,
like a bit much, but okay.
Right. I'm like, that's the extraness I live for in Atlanta. Like, I'm like, a secret party. Like,
it was a secret party in a whole panty.
Yes. I know you spoke about like your business, like you kind of touched on it when you were talking to Timi, your friend, but like it kind of got cut off, and like I don't know, like if anybody else couldn't hear, but like I couldn't hear. So like, can you speak about your business?
Oh yes, I actually have a cleaning services, which it's called Grown Man Cleaning Services, and we clean residential services and also commercials. So
nice. Okay, shout out to that.
Yes,
Grown Man Cleaning Service.
Nice.
We're man clean too. So y'all definitely to get into it. Definitely.
Yes, we stand a business owner.
That. Yes.
Yeah, we're just gonna get into the episode. First off, we want to get your thoughts on episode 4. How did you feel? Like any general feelings about episode 4?
Honestly, no, I'm actually okay with everything that's getting put out. I will say that you guys not getting enough of me, like you guys not getting enough of who I am, because it will explain a whole lot, but that's why I'm here doing this interview with you guys. So
Okay, yeah. We first get a little more, I guess, of the party and like the chaos that happened with that.
This real life shit, bitch. Nobody was trying to argue with that fat ass hoe.
When Darlene walks through the door, she's better have an explanation as to why she's calling me a fat bitch.
Really just like escalated. It was weird. Also find it funny that like Travis was like, oh, like my like people are here for me, but it was like he was really the only one yelling stuff back besides like him and Ryan, like they were like going back and forth. So it was just like, okay. Everybody else was kind of confused. Like they were just like, I don't know what's happening, but you know, I'm just, you know, we in these white people's, you know, hotel, like, let's calm down. Like, but, you know, yeah, Damien said it was a sketchy area, but I don't know. Everybody say everything is sketchy nowadays. Like, I guess if it's not in Midtown, then it's sketchy. But
it was in Lindbergh. It wasn't like a bad area per se. It was cool. I feel like, you know, ATL is like predominantly Black, so it's a lot of Black people that stay in Lindbergh, Buckhead, you know. So yeah.
So we get you sitting down with Ryan, I guess, to talk about what happened. You know, I guess you guys, it was like a misunderstanding. I just have not Ryan threatening somebody and forgetting he threatened them.
Right. The last time we saw each other, you know, you said you was gonna beat my ass.
When I catch you, when I fucking catch you, bitch.
Right. Like, I'm just like, wait. I'm like, how do you threaten somebody and then forget? Because what if they're like, okay, like it's on site when I see you, then it's like you're gonna be like, oh, what happened? Like he was just like, I said that. I'm like,
in the midst of all of that, when I was leaving the party, Ryan was actually like not even pushing Travis back or whatever. He was just standing there, like, you know, looking back and forth like this. He don't know which way to go. He had no right to even say anything to me or Tim. If he actually, we was on the side when he started talking to us, he was talking to us calmly. And he was like, can y'all just go? We don't want to be no drama here. Can y'all just go? I'm like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We're gonna go anyways. And so when we got to the door, and when Travis started coming behind him, he was like, he tried to get loud and stuff. And I'm like, what? We were just talking. Why are you getting loud now? Like, it don't make. But the whole time, like anybody that was there, like it wasn't even there like for Travis. Like it was like a word of mouth. Cause at the party, whatever people, but the people that was there, it was like, oh, I'm gonna bring my friend. My friend gonna bring his plus and XYZ.
Oh, okay.
Party, you know.
Do you know if you were invited by production versus being invited by him? Because I know sometimes production will invite people. We've seen this on shows before. They invite somebody and the person comes and then they're like, you can't get in. I don't even like you. And then they're like, what the, like, you know, so it's like, do you think you were invited by production?
No, honestly, I wasn't even on the show at all.
Right. You would.
Travis, I saw Travis at Pride. Okay, so let me get this story straight, because he keep on saying, I'm a fan. He brought me to the show. This what happened. As the show was airing 2 summers ago, I liked the show, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get the show a try. So I actually liked it, and I reached out to someone, which is Travis, and I said, you know, the show was dope. I like your personality on the show, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. We conversed back and forth. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to audition for the show. And he said, okay, that's fine. He said, just be ready, be your true, authentic self. And that was that. And so I ended up running to him and Rara at Pride. I ended up running to them at Pride. And he was like, man, you should come to my birthday party. Mind you, we already conversed. We was already conversing. So he's like, you should come to my birthday party and stuff like this. At this time, we are already, you know, cool. You know, I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of the show. I'm not a fan of Travis. I just like his personality. That. I love the show. And I was like, I think our personalities will actually click well together. So I'm like, I told him, I said, I'm auditioning for the show. He wished me the best of luck. And he invited me to his party at Pride. And then he told me to go through production. On the show, I think on episode 3, when he was talking about it, he said, Malcolm invited me. Malcolm wasn't over anything besides bringing the food. You know, production was over everything because they had to find a place to actually have the party for Travis.
I will say, like, while Ryan was kind of like explaining himself, like, your facial expressions were hilarious. Like, it was just Stonewall. It was giving me Versace from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Tommy's sister.
Oh my God.
It was just very poker face. I'm like,
yeah, I don't
know if he's gonna like jump over the table and attack Ryan. I don't know if you're this calm. Like, what's going on, Tim? Like, blink if you're okay, but
right. Come on, poker face.
The whole time he was talking, I was just pretty much just out of it. I was just like, I was listening to him, but I was pretty much just like, okay, you're lying. But honestly, it was just more so of, let me just hear what he have to say before I just automatically just attack, you know?
Okay.
So I just listened first, but I was over it though. I clearly was.
Okay. Well, I will say I like that y'all came to like common ground. That y'all, you know, y'all conversation didn't get too crazy, chaotic. Y'all both said what y'all had to say. It was respectful, and that seemed to be the end of it. So I was like, grown man shit.
Right.
This show
conflict
needs more
resolution.
of that.
Yeah.
Like this show needs more of that. So I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll see the opposite soon, but we're not on there yet. So I have one question and then we'll move on. Were you being shady when you called Ryan Yaya?
Yes.
Or did you?
I was.
Okay. It seemed like I was like, I think you're being shady, but the way you were saying it, it genuinely seemed like you thought his name was Yaya. Like, you know, usually people will be like, you know, like they'll give you a little like, I'm being shady, but no, you were just saying it like bluntly. So I was like, oh, maybe he thinks his name is really Yaya. Like,
I was being that moment. I was being very shady because I talked to him since then. So I was being.
That's so funny. So then after that, we get into a counseling scene. D'Angelo and his boyfriend Antonio are going to see Byron, the love guru. So I don't know if that's like I don't know if he's like a relationship coach or like a counselor or a therapist. But yeah, you know, he seemed really cool. He had pretty chill energy. I just have that. I thought in this scene, D'Angelo explained himself really well. I know he's not really that good at like explaining himself, especially since like last season. It was very like, okay. But I just felt like he was just the things that he had to say, it was better than like previous situations that he was in where he had to explain himself.
I feel like D'Angelo haven't found or had love like that ever. Life. And so he traumatized. A lot of stuff that he's been through in his past, it messed him up, you know. And also his guy, oh my God, Tony is so dope. He's very very humble because he's been through too, but he's older and he's very mature.
I agree. Like, I mean, obviously, like he's still kind of dealing with the passing of his mother. And it just seems like maybe like he's affected by that so much that he doesn't want to attach himself to anybody else because he doesn't want that type of pain to ever happen again. So it's like, you know, and I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, you're gonna like live a pretty terrible life if you never attach yourself to anybody else, you know, like you gotta have to have those attachments in life to, you know, make life worthwhile. So, you know, I definitely feel like he should maybe seek some counseling just for like dealing with, you know, the passing of his mother relationship.
It seems like Antonio may be like more so like the provider in like terms of like emotion, just like when Angelo broke down the way that Antonio just kind of comforted him and just kind of loved on him. I was like, we need more of that, but I do like their dynamic. Like Angelo does seem like Antonio, he seems I won't say really protective over D'Angelo. I just like how he seems really nurturing of D'Angelo, and I really like that. But I do want to say this, that when the therapist told D'Angelo that he likes to be the loudest person in the room, I instantly had a flashback to his season 1 reunion when he got into it with Quentin.
Quentin pants so high. He looked like he in New Orleans and Hurricane Katrina, girl.
He was in that damn extra tailored ass suit.
I thought it was funny how they kept referring to him, even like after this scene, they kept saying, they kept referring to the love guru as that man. And I'm like, y'all know him. Like, why are y'all? They're like, y'all want to go back to that man? I'm like, you know his name. Like, I thought it was funny, but I'm like, it was kind of a little rude. Like, I'm like, well, y'all can't give him a little promo, like, you know. Right. But I was just like, but that's them. I don't even feel like they were trying to be rude. I just feel like in their mind they were just like, oh, that man. But so the next scene Tyvon meets up with his friend Jacoby King, who's also a music. He said he was also a creative. I'm assuming that means he's also a musician, I guess you could say. I guess he didn't like the fact that you had a drink. I guess like you had already had a drink when he was coming up. But I was like, I mean, if you were late, then like I don't understand how you can be mad about that.
Right.
Like, was he just supposed to sit there parched?
Right. That's what I put in my notes.
Like
that's what I put in my notes. Like, you want me to not drink because you wait, like, bitch, I'm parched. Like, I'm dehydrated, but that was a mess.
Okay, so now that we have you here, though, we kind of gotta put you in the fire.
Please do.
Please. Okay, so So had you not met Tyvon before going on this? Never. Okay, so not even looked at his Instagram. Never. Okay, so so to me it's interesting that you were like, you kind of talked about how like you are a mix of masculine and feminine. You're not like high femme, you're not high mass, but when you saw Tyvon, we all saw like a little like, like, I don't know. So do you think, what about him? I don't want to say what about him you didn't like, but like, what about him, I guess, caused a disconnect between you, like immediately?
It was honestly, and I'm just being very transparent. It was a disconnect the moment he had walked up. For me, it was just, I like a certain type of guy. No, I'm gonna take that back. Men, like, I like a certain type of man. And the moment he walked up or whatever, like, I'm really good. I'm 30 years old and I just feel like I'm experienced. And I feel like that's what the disconnect also had played a big part, because, people felt like that I was judging him because he was young. I wasn't judging him because he was young. I was just saying that he's 24. He have to experience the things that I experienced or other stuff. But for far as for me, he's just not the type of guy I would date. And I just feel like he needs to get some more experience under his belt to date a guy like me. But I was never judging because he was young, never.
Because I was getting like job rejection flashbacks. Like, you just don't have enough experience for this role. Like, I'm like, excuse me, like you giving him advice like as an older person. It was a little weird just because he didn't ask for the advice. But I know a lot of people default into that, like, oh, like you're young, so you might want to like play the field or like see what else is out there. Which I guess it seemed like that was your way of being like, this isn't gonna work, but like there'll be other people.
I feel like I said it in a very mature, nice way, because mind you, the scene was probably only no more than like 4 to like 5 minutes. We sat at the bar, Einstein's, probably like a good 30 minutes. So I said it the nicest way I know how. I just feel like Tyvon, first off, let's just be real. He just moved there 2 weeks prior to him going on a date with, the meet and greet with me.
Not a meet and greet. Oh my God.
It was a meet and greet. And I'm just like, you can't be like, oh, I'm ready to date. I just moved here to ATL. Like, no, I want him to get out there and I want him to meet other people and our dynamic. Like, because I date him and, things won't work out because he want to explore other things, People don't understand that, and I feel like I was in his shoes before when I first moved out here in 2016. I got out and the first thing I saw, oh my God, he got a little money. He got a car, he got a nice house. Okay, I'm ready to be in a relationship. You really have to experience all of that, and I just felt like whatever. It was just, I wasn't being this. I was just like, look, like it ain't gonna work because I've been through everything that you're trying to go through right now or going to go through right now.
I think maybe for him, or maybe for me, just watching it, it just seemed like, or maybe it was the way it was edited, but it just seemed like you went immediately to that. Because if I'm gonna sign up to be on like a blind date, I feel like I'm gonna be a little more open-minded, I guess you could say. But at the same time, it's like, you know what you want and what you don't want.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, I'm just like, I don't know. I guess like the way, maybe because he was more relaxed and you were more like, nah, like you were quick to be like, no, like know what you want. And like, as we know, Tyvon doesn't necessarily know what he wants. I guess that contrast just made it seem more so like you were like kind of like judging him and being judgmental.
He was boring. Even when we was talking, conversing back and forth, he was very boring. He was very boring. And I was asking all the questions because he wasn't saying anything. Like, that's why this is draining, you know? And so I already checked out. And, you know, I can tell if I want to date someone within the first 5 minutes of a conversation, you know? And you guys do the same thing. Like, you would know in your head if it's going to work out. You know, you know the red flags. And it wasn't there for me. He was boring. He wasn't like saying anything. Like, he just wasn't my type. It was terrible.
Bringing back my favorite word of 2021. Timi, could you see yourself being platonic friends with Tyven?
Oh my God.
No.
Ooh. Y'all can be cool?
We can be cool, like, you know, if I'm in a club and he hates me, I'm like, hey, you know, Ty, and keep moving.
Hi and bye. Okay.
What did that boy do to you? Because I feel like something happened.
You have to wait and see. Ooh. But I don't have anything against Ty. Me getting to know him, the little that I did get to know him, he's cool. Like, but no. But he cool.
Okay.
He's cool and he's apparently not a top. So we gotta get into this femtop erasure. Femtops exist, okay? Like, I'm just saying. Why? So what was it just a joke? Like, why did you ask him about his position and then was like, nah, this is what you are? What's the thought behind that?
Oh, so we was having a conversation about that. Like, we was talking about, dating here in Atlanta and what kind of guy that he like and what kind of guy that I like. And I'm the type of guy, I'm a straight shooter. I go in for the kill because I didn't know if I'm gonna waste my time or if we gonna make something work. But at that moment, I will admit, when I tell you I was bored and I was just like fishing, like I was just like asking anything at this moment. So I asked him, I was, are you top, bottom, or verse? And he said, like, okay, give me an answer because I really want to know at this point. I'm just asking now, I'm just bullshitting. And when he said verse, I just didn't feel it. And I would just, it just happened, you know. I'm sorry. I just
couple more drinks. You never know. No.
I just can't see him on my, you know, if he is a verse, kudos to him. Hey, but I just couldn't see him on my back. And I feel like I had every right to say, you know, yeah, it ain't gonna happen. And we all do that. We all be like, you say you a top, you know, like we all, you know, so it's okay.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah, like especially like me, like I know sometimes I'm like joking, like you're not a, you know, whatever, but I don't know. I feel like times is changing, you know, people are trying new things and, you know, getting their lives. So, you know, gotta get into this 2021 gig of femtops.
Get into Joseph Robinette fight 2021 people.
Yes, that's what it has in store for us. Like, but yeah, speaking of okay, so yeah, you talked about the age thing. He felt like it was an excuse. I felt like, I mean, it doesn't really matter if a person's not into you, they're not into you. Like, it's just kind of like, you know, like he was like, that's an excuse. But I'm like, well, if he really liked you, there wouldn't need to be an excuse. Like he would just, you know, like you. But you know, I feel like Tyvon's gonna find his person. Like, I feel like this one date was just, you know, or meet and greet. You know, it didn't work out. So, you know, like on to the next one. But how do you feel about the whole fake trade comment? I thought it was hilarious, but you know, it wasn't directed at me. So
yeah, I'm gonna give me a shirt that's like fake trade. You know,
I'm here for it. Fake trade sounds like, listen, branded. Like,
hey, I mean, I don't get it when people call me names or say things about me. I'm okay with that. It is what it is. But at the same time, like, these are the same people that also, you know, be crying when someone says something about them. Like, I can say some shit and I can come at people, you know, any type of way, but it is what it is. Like, I didn't take no heat to it, if anything or whatever. Like, you know, I feel like I'm afraid because I look up or whatever. Somebody like, hey, Tim, you know, you that fake trade. I'm like, hey, you know.
You're like, you just braided me. Thanks. Like,
I'll take it.
Troy, I feel like you have a lot of opinions about fake trade.
Why me? Trash can, yeah.
One of the last scenes we have Timi and Travis sit down. I guess, you know, another trying to like come to an understanding about the whole situation at his party, Travis's party. I just have Travis is so childish. Even from like the beginning, it was very like,
I'm gonna give you the floor since that's where your friend should have ended up at after he tried that stuff at my party. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
did you come for an understanding? Because it doesn't feel that way. Like, he said that you were late, but like the way he acted, like, were you like 30 minutes late, an hour late? What was going on?
Into that, because I'm speaking the truth. So I had got a text and I still have it in my phone from production, and they was telling me that Travis is, I guess, in North Carolina, and he's on his way down here. He should be here, if I'm not mistaken, it was at 12:30 or something like that, or 12 or 12:30. So I said, okay, that's fine. Mind you, I was off work. I didn't have anything to do. I just left the gym. So I was like, you know, that's fine. I'm going to take that. Production hit me up again, and it was like, okay, well, Travis is gonna be running a little bit behind or whatever, so just around 1 to 1:30. Fine, all right, that's fine. I'm not doing anything anyways. So I get a phone call. Hey, you know, all right, we here. Mind you, I think it was no later than, it was a little before 1, if I'm not mistaken. So I show up right away, and he was already on edge before I had went there. Travis was already, he was filming Chasing Atlanta, and then he was doing the shit We Do for Love. So, you know, he already had this ego like, oh, well, I'm on Chasing Atlanta, so I gotta do a scene in a few, so we gotta hurry this up. That's his attitude that he got, because he think he that bitch. He think he need any leaks. And he just need to humble himself. So at that moment, he started off with just straight up negativity, and we posted came there to actually, you know, talk like two gentlemen, you know, but that wasn't, Travis wasn't trying to do that. He was trying to make a scene.
It's kind of sad watching Ryan and kind of Angelo like defend their friend, and then he's like wilding like this, like, homeboy, you ruined your party, and then you had Ryan going to bat for you, and now you had this meet up with Timi and you acting like an ass. So
and it seemed like because it was his party, it was like, oh, well, you know, it's my party, so I can kind of do what I want, and you can't say anything about it. You know, it's kind of like when you were younger and you would go to like your friend's house and like, it's my house, so I could do what I want. And it's like, damn, like, can I like, you know, like, can I play too? Like, so like, I don't know, but I feel like he knew because it was his space, and like, I guess some of those people were his people, he could kind of do what he wanted. And it's like, that's not cool. Like, don't start drama at your own party and then complain, you know?
Right.
Exactly.
So,
right.
But yeah, I just thought that it was an interesting scene because, you know, y'all were going back and forth. How long was the scene that you guys shot?
That scene actually wasn't long at all. It's no more than 15 minutes because what people realize that this stuff is real. Like, this is real. And it was to the point that, you know, I had to calm myself down because I was ready to slap the fuck out of Travis. Excuse my language. I was ready to like really slap him because this man was just being so disrespectful. But I was stuff like, you know, don't fight on the show. You know, you don't want to have that image. You can talk all the shit in the world, but just don't fight. And I feel like he was trying to take me to that place. Well, I wouldn't even allowed him to do that. So I just had to really just, you know, take it in. I'm like, look, if I ain't got to come back, let me just take it in. But it was like 15 minutes because I was angry. He was upset. I was ready to get it. So
it's weird that y'all weren't able to come to an understanding just because like it seems like the issue had nothing to do with either one of y'all. So it seemed like if anything, y'all could like bridge the gap and get everybody else on the same page, especially since the two people that I guess didn't like each other are cool now, or you know, at least able to be in the same room together. So,
but Travis not trying to, like, even when I came and sat down at the little talk we had when I came there, I as soon as I sat down, I was like, first and foremost, I want to apologize to you about, you know, all that stuff that happened at your party. That was not or Timothy. I told him that. I did. And, you know, he was just still angry. Why would you bring him to the party? Well, Travis, when I was at Pride, you spoke to Tim, like you gave Tim a hug. Robert did this. Man, that's my best friend. We with each other almost every single day. So this ain't nothing new. Him and Malcolm, they was still talking or whatever. They wasn't as close, but they still was in communication. They didn't have a fight. They didn't do anything to be like, okay, I hate you, all that. Like it's not given what Travis tried to make it give. And once again, it had nothing to do with him. So he should have just stayed out of their business.
Okay. So is it ever going to be revealed what happened between Tim and Malcolm? Because I feel like I'm confused. I don't know. Obviously, they haven't talked about what happened. Do we get any type of information about that?
I will say I want you guys to keep watching the show. However, I will say this: that's not my story to tell. Or that's why when they was arguing, I stay out of it. I was just like, I don't want to know. But that's Malcolm's story to tell if they want to, speak on. But I just, because I feel like, that's just none of my business. And I'm more to my,
I feel that. I just feel like, I just feel like from the show's perspective, like in regards to the show, I feel like they should just say it, because it's like, if it's such a big part of the season, like if it's such a big storyline, then like, it's just kind of weird to like be listening to them argue about something that we don't know about. Because it's like, how can we form full opinions on something that we don't know the context? Like, we don't know what Tim allegedly did. So like, if he did something really bad, then it's like, well, damn, we can't necessarily defend him. But if it was something that did happen or something that was petty, it's like, but
well, let me just say this. If someone did something to, hurt you or hurt your feelings or anything like that, and it was so serious, you would not even be still communicating with them, and we saw on film, Tim and Malcolm was in the room talking, and they was actually kind of close a little bit, So once again, like, I just don't understand certain people and how people try to make other people look really, really bad just for TV, and everything's backfiring on Malcolm and Travis, as you can see. But trust me, like, I'm tired of people lying. I'm tired of just people just doing the absolutely most. So at this point, when Tim and Malcolm want to come forward and, speak their piece, they will. But trust me, it's a lie. And certain stuff shouldn't even be talked about anyways. That's how I felt about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we see y'all getting into it. Did y'all notice when he said, I have straight people here with guns? I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I caught that.
I was like, straight people? Oh my God. I'm so scared.
Like,
what?
Straight people can't get their ass beat now?
Listen,
he had no one there. No one was there to help him fight besides Ra-Ra, but Ra-Ra really didn't want to fight nobody. And D'Angelo definitely not going to fight anyone. No one was like there. Like, everyone was like just as confused as you guys are on this looking in. Everybody was like, Travis was like, calm down. No one threatened us. If you had all these people there, they would have came in our face. They would have, did something. The only person that had the balls to say anything when we was leaving out the door was Ra-Ra. So other than that, and mind you, let me just make this clear. We did not sign a contract when all that stuff was going on. So it wasn't on the show, and that's why it's really show Travis Ellis and how he is, because we want a part of the show. We any contracts. We really came there just to be there and support Travis, for his party. So I was really confused how we a part of the storyline and we was never on the show. We did our audition the same day. So Travis was already bullshit. You get what I'm saying?
So when you had the scene, I think it was the first episode where you're talking to Tim and you're inviting him to the party, was that shot after the party?
Of course it was.
Okay, because I'm like, how did okay. That makes sense. It's reality TV. So
without, I guess, giving too much away for the rest of the season, can you tell us where you stand with like the rest of the castmates or the rest of the cast members? We know where you stand with Travis, but like as far as Noel, Ra-Ra, Angelo, what is your relationship? Yeah, what's what's your relationship like with the rest of the cast members?
Ra-Ra, love him. D'Angelo, it's a wishy-washy type of thing with me and D'Angelo, because I don't know which way he's moving. Sometimes 1 minute he's over here, next minute he's over there. So he's pretty much going with the wind. So I'm still trying to adjust to, D'Angelo. Ty, I don't have any type of communication with that man at all, and I'm okay with that. Who else? Damien's really cool. I like Damien. He's real cool.
What about Noel? How are you vibing or clicking with Noel?
That is my boo. I love me some Noel. That is,
okay.
I love everything about Noel. And the person he is.
He seems really polarizing, so it's like either way. Like I didn't know which way you were gonna go. I mean, I like him so far, but it just seems like you either like hate him or you like, oh, he's cool. So that's cool. Yeah, and then to finish up, we have one more scene with D'Angelo and Antonio. No shade, but I feel like they're really the only ones that are like real. Like I feel like they're the shit. They're the love and the shit we do for love. Like you know, we really get to see, I guess, their love blossom. But they're you know, on a little date at a hotel. And we just get some cute moments with them. I guess D'Angelo doesn't necessarily always like the way that Antonio dresses. I guess, you know, they compliment each other.
Like
yeah.
Yes.
So Timi, like when you're in a relationship or dating, like how do you feel about stuff like that? Like, do you not care, or do you feel like, oh, we need to compliment each other?
I do feel like we need to compliment each other. I do feel like that as long as if it's not disrespectful, we're gonna be good regardless. I actually like when, you know, we walking out and my guy get more attention than me. You know, I feel like that's dope. You know, that actually turned me on when other people like my guy. You know, I just don't want him like going outside dressing like he this thug, got his pants all the way down, showing his dick print and ass and stuff like that. But other than that or whatever, like, you know, I love it. Like I love when they get the attention.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess the tracksuit was gonna get the attention that D'Angelo wanted for Antonio, but yeah, I thought it was cute. I like seeing them together. They bite off of each other really well.
Tony is the type of guy, like when he's with that one person that he's with, like he worship the ground that one person like walk on. So even if he do, you know, showing like a dick print or ass cheek, he's still like very respectful, you know. And when I say he's so humble, he's very, really humble. I do feel like D'Angelo, because I have been around them. I feel like D'Angelo be fishing for stuff. Like he want to start arguments. And there's no need to start an argument because Tony don't be on that, you know?
Yeah.
He's not the type of guy. And so I even like, dude, like you are blessed to have somebody like Tony to really, you know, compliment you, because he's not looking at no one else. He's looking directly at D'Angelo. And so, you know, hopefully he, you know, took what I said and, you know, went with it. But Tony not that type of guy. He's really a good guy. So if that man little dick print, you know, you should be happy your man got a nice dick, you know?
No, I feel like they complement each other well, but they are kind of opposites. Like I feel like going back to the first season with like Ryan and D'Angelo, it seemed like they both were a little too, I guess they both were a little too aggy to like be in a relationship together. Like they both needed people, and notice how they both found somebody that's like more laid back and chill, because I don't know, it just was like two positive signs. Like they were,
like when you try to put the magnets together.
Yeah, they were like going away. Yeah. So, but yeah, I could see that. I mean, D'Angelo's kind of feisty. I could see that. But I mean, I could also see him kind of like fishing for stuff, but like kind of like joking around, I guess you could say. Like he kind of seems to have that personality where it's like, I'm trying to, you know, I'm joking, but I'm, you know, I'm kind of taking shots at you, I guess. But but yeah, that was the episode. What was it called again? I can never remember the episode name. I don't know.
Confronting Your Truths.
Confronting Your Truths. But yeah, you know, some truths were confronted. Some were denied. As we see at the end. But yeah, I thought it was an okay episode. I'm excited to see the next episode because two people with big personalities clash. So I want to see what that's gonna give. Were you at? I don't know if I didn't see. You weren't there. Okay. So interesting. I just wonder what is gonna give, I guess.
It's juicy. Get ready for it. It's very juicy.
Ooh, okay. So
that's crazy that it should be airing right now, right?
It
Correct.
should, yeah. It's about to air soon. So
like, crazy.
Yes. But yeah, if this was live, we would be leading them in, I guess. But yeah, anything else that you want to share with us? Anything that you would like us to know, or
I will say this. I just want, the fans and the supporters of the show to just really realize that this is our reality. We're putting everything on the front line for you guys to see. I feel that every situation that's on the show, someone in this world plays that in their own reality. I do feel like, I'm speaking for everyone, including myself, that, we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, because you never know, who you could possibly meet, in a different shell. So, I just take that with a grain of salt, and I also have to just, humble myself, and I want everyone else to humble themselves as well. So, sometimes it's good to, get that mirror and look at yourself. So the stuff that you judge other people on, you have to look at yourself and just dissect everything and be like, look, I need to work on this and I need to do that for myself. So that's where I'm at in my life. And I just want to, share that with the world, because at the end of the day, you just never know where you may end up in life. So you got to treat people how you want to be treated.
I could feel it. I mean, definitely got to be right with yourself before you get with anybody else. So I can definitely feel that. But yeah, this has been episode 4, and this has been Key and Carry, where we key
and we carry,
and we're here with Timi Lashun. Thank you for joining us for this episode.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes. And we will see y'all in the next one. Peace.